Welcome back, class. This is Mr. Vargas, and it is time to get back to work. As many of you already know, we are going to be using Scratch to continue our class. Um, Scratch, some of you might have used Scratch before, some of you might know it well. It's pretty easy to use, and I think it will serve our purposes for the remainder of this class or until we get back to school. So, before you continue with this tutorial, you should have already you should have already joined our class. The link is on in the Google Classroom, so make sure you do that first and use that to create your account before you start your first assignment. So our first assignment is actually one of the built-in Scratch tutorials. So I'm going to be using a lot of those. I like them because they show you step by step how to do things. Some of our assignments won't be some of the built-in tutorials. So let me just show you how to get started. First, I'm going to hit create. Again, make sure you have already joined the class before you start making things and that you're actually part of my classroom because that's how I'm going to check your work. So I hit create and right away it just throws you right in here. You can start coding and adding things. And what I just want to show you real quick is if you hit tutorials, it takes you to another screen and you can select one of these tutorials. Now the first assignment you guys are going to do is actually the animate a name tutorial. So I'm going to click on it and it takes us back to the screen we were just at. And it just has this little pop-up over here with the animate name tutorial. There's a video that you can play.
You can use Scratch to animate a name and bring it to life.
I'm gonna pause that. So I suggest you watch that tutorial, if you need to. It's good. You can keep rewatching it and you don't have to have another window open. And if you prefer, it even has step by step how to do all of the various components of this project. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating an animated version of your name. And actually I should say it's not just animated, it's interactive. So it doesn't animate on its own. You're going to click on the different letters of your name and they will do various things. So, first thing I actually want to do is rename my project. So instead of Untitled 6, I'm going to call it Animate a Name and then put your initials next to the title of the name of the project. All right, so I've titled it. Now the various components of this project. First, I'm going to add a background. So you can click right here, and there are a whole bunch of built-in backgrounds. You can even upload your own background, which is something we'll do in the future. I'll just pick this Night City background right here. Yeah, so just any background. That's actually one of the requirements for this project. So you just click on this icon and then select the backdrop of your choice. So I've added my background. Now the next step is to add all of the letters of your name. So whenever you start a Scratch project, it gives you this little cat guy. I'm gonna delete him. I don't need him for this project. He's kind of the mascot of Scratch. And I'm gonna go over here to add another sprite. And what I want to do is I want to add a letter. So I'll add Raul. So I'm gonna add an R. And you know what? I'm gonna just add all my letters right from the get-go. So I'll do Raul. So I'm going through this kind of quick. As you can see, there's different categories of sprites. You can search for things. You can upload your own sprites. So I have Raul. Now, you know what? I'm going to just put these in a nice order so that it makes sense. All right. And if you want, if you want to make your own custom letters, if you want to find images of your name, that's fine. All right, so now it's time to actually code this. So each letter actually has its own palette of code. So every object that you add has its own code. So let's go to the R. And when we click on R, we want it to play a sound. So I'm gonna so now over here we have our coding, different categories of code. So something that might be good to do right now, especially if you're not familiar with Scratch, is to just take some time and go through all of these. Just see everything that's in here. So we're gonna go to events. Events is basically it's waiting for the user to do something. So we're gonna do when the sprite is clicked. So all of each letter is gonna have when the sprite is clicked. So what that basically means is when the sprite is clicked, it's gonna do whatever code you clip underneath here. So we want to play a sound. So let's go to sound, and we're gonna play sound right here. And the default sound is meow. That's fine. You can record a sound. You can upload music if you want. I'll just leave the meow. Now, if you want to test it, so when I click on R, it plays the meow sound. All right, so that's your second requirement. I want you to make a letter that will actually play a sound when you click on it. All right, the next requirement, I want one of the letters to change colors when you click on it. So let's go to looks and let's see, change color effect by 25. So that's what we're gonna do when we click on A. So I need to add the event. When the sprite is clicked, we're gonna change the color effect by 25. So if you see that just changes the color and I actually need to look up what color effect does. I'm not great with Scratch. So let's see, U. So I'm learning it with you guys. U, let's see, when we click on U, we want it to spin. So when this sprite is clicked, we're gonna go to motion and we're gonna do turn. Right? So whenever you click on it, it turns. And now for the L, we're gonna do we're gonna make it grow in size. So when the sprite is clicked, we are going to make the L, let's see, where is that under? Looks, set size, change size. Let's do change size. So when the mouse is clicked on L, it grows. Now you notice one thing about Scratch that's kind of weird is you add some code and when it changes, it stays changed, right? You might want the L, if you keep on testing this, eventually it gets so large, it kind of messes up your project. Then you have to try to resize it. You can size it down, you can resize it down here. Oh, made it too small. Or you can go under another interesting thing about the way Scratch works is that you can if you click on code in the palette, it actually modifies the real world. So look, I'm gonna make this huge. If I click set size to 100, it just resets it back to its normal size. Better yet, and this is something that we're gonna start doing a lot more later on, is every time you hit this green flag to start your project, it's good to reset everything. So because if you're playing a game and something changes, you don't want it to stay changed. So I'm gonna add another event. When the green flag is clicked, we are going to set size to 100%. And that kind of resets it. The U, the same thing with the U. You can try, you know, you can also play around with the direction over here to fix the U or similar to how we change size. If you want, you can make it so when you hit the green flag, the U gets straight. But this is pretty much it. So this is your first project, animate a name. As soon as you're done, you've added your name and you've added code and you've included at least, and these are my requirements. I want a custom background. I want your name. I want one letter to play a sound, one letter to change color, one letter will spin, and one letter will grow. The other letters of your name, if your name has more than 4 letters, you can experiment with. As soon as you're done, you can hit share, and that's it. Your project is now shared. If you join my class correctly, then you're all set. I can see your work, and you'll get a grade for this. So this is our first assignment. We're gonna do one of these a week. I think that's pretty manageable. As you've already seen, we're gonna do our two tech articles a week, and I think that's I know you guys have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of your classes are also giving you work, so I'm just trying to keep it manageable. We'll do one Scratch tutorial a week. We will do 2 articles a week, and hopefully we can get back to school. I know some of you guys probably like this vacation, but I really do. I really would like to see everybody before the summer. So hopefully we get back to school. But this is how we'll continue. And if this goes long, we'll eventually do a big project in Scratch. And that's it. So hope you guys are all safe, and I will see you later.